Joseph Campbell once said that people are not searching for the meaning of life as much as they're searching for the experience of being truly alive. What helps you feel fully alive? This is one of the questions we explore at CWS. Celebrating our second anniversary with Kerry, Veitch and Pablo Castro, we explore the power of breath, warm water, community, belonging, and what becomes possible when we meet life with openness, curiosity, and presence. Enjoy our full podcast teamwork and discover the 2027 Sacred Breath Advanced Warm Water Breathwork trainings, including the Fforest Wales Retreat taking place from 7th till the 11th July. Are we the ones we're waiting for? Welcome to a very special episode of the CWS Conversations with Svend. Today we are in Fforest in Wales. Wales is a land of myth and magic, dragons and ancient story, folklore and peoples and extraordinarily beautiful nature. It's the land of Hiraeth, longing, Cynefin, where everything feels just right with nature and people. And it is also the land of the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act, which guides people to work according to the principles of prevention, collaboration, involvement and integration, and work on a long-term basis. And I am with people who are doing just that today. I'm with Kerry, Veitch and Pablo Castro. Both are earth travelers, global travelers, and forming communities around the world in the United States of America, Brazil, Bali, and here in Wales and the UK. Kerry and Pablo are both breath workers, and we will explain what that is. And their speciality is what is called rebirthing and using water, warm water. So we have been gathering here, Pablo and Kerry has been gathering here in Fforest for 4 years now. And a wonderful community is kind of forming around both of you. And we have just had a 5 days retreat and just appreciating the abundance and the magnificence of what is accomplished here. So it's not really welcome because we've been together for 5 days, but would you introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us what it is, what your passion is, what it is your passion is, and how you are. The dragonfly, beautiful. Kerry.
Yes, I'm Kerry Veitch. I live between Bath and Bristol, southwest UK. I have been, my first breathwork experience was 30 years ago, conscious connected breathwork experience. So that's the type of breathwork that we do. And now I teach for Air School of Breathwork, which I was inherited from my teachers when they retired. And that's a rebirthing school. And I also have my own practice, Sacred Breath. And I am in love with breathing consciously, and I'm in love with breathing consciously in warm water.
Definitely. Well, let's Pablo, and then we can go further into.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here with you again and to be able to share to those that are listening. I am Pablo Castro, and I have lived in Bali, Indonesia for the last 8 years, but slowly am transitioning to Europe, specifically Italy. And I spend my time between Bali, Europe, and the US. it's an exciting time because I feel like the move to Europe is kind of marking a next level when it comes to the work that we do, that I do, which is very much aligned with what Kerry is saying. A lover of the breath. When I hear you say, what am I passionate about? I mean, I think my aim is to be present, right? To be present to my breath, be present to the life that's here, that surrounds us, be present in this exchange, be present even in the energy that I'm feeling in my body. And as I'm more and more present, it makes me more and more kind of stoked for life, more and more excited for what we get to feel as humans and how we get to articulate our stories. So I guess I'm a lover of life and passionate about being able to feel, to lean into experiences, to collaborate with amazing people, and to travel the world and do the work that we do in amazing places. And besides that, I love travel, love culture, love food, love music, and of course, this work is incredible. It's the best thing I have found to date that makes my heart sing. So it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I can say that I've come here for the last 3 years now, and I feel every time like I'm reconnecting with my own birth, my mother, my father, my sister, my family. So I call it return to innocence and return to love, and that's what it feels for me. Let's.
If I can share, I would just highlight that innocence. It has been such a gift this week to see, innocence, I think as well. Innocence is like one of those words that it almost can feel like there's a fragility in it, but no, I think the innocence that we're talking about is one of authenticity. And this week I've seen warmth, I've seen your personality, I've seen your enhancing of the group dynamic. So I just want to acknowledge that innocence. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
No. No, you're both facilitators of something which I feel is profound, and maybe we can talk a little bit about what is the significance in doing this work now and at this time, and also then go a little bit into what it actually is you're doing when we talk about advanced breath work and training, etc. But why does it matter now, and what is the significance of community and forming these kind of around people and places, etc.?
The first word that comes to me is the importance of ceremony, and I don't want to create like that ceremony is this specific thing that comes from a specific group of people and lineage. I mean ceremony in the sense of reverence for where we are, and what we're doing here is simple. We are coming back to basic truths, a basic understanding that nature is powerful, and it reminds us that water has, if anybody who's listening can consider how they feel in water, right? Maybe you get a sense, I'm sure there's all kinds of experiences, but maybe you get a sense of feeling at home or feeling a sense of lightness, maybe levity, like almost like your body kind of has a little more permission to float and be free and express. And we're reminding people that these elements have something powerful in their own. So we create a ceremony in the sense of acknowledging that, nature is to help us remember who we are. Water has the ability to help us feel better, flow better, come into expression, remember. And we also work with elements like the fire as well, and in circle and sharing. So it's just getting these things that are natural, that are innate to us as human beings. And I think that we've drifted from that. So your question now, why now, more than ever, is that I feel like it's so needed right now for us to come back to our source, come back to nature, come back to our self, the simple power of our breath, and relearn that we have everything that we need on this beautiful earth. What do you think?
I agree with what you're saying. I think also there's on a wider scale, as the population continues to grow on our planet and resources are continually stretched on Mother Earth, water for me she has always been omnipresent in every culture for cleansing, purification, ceremony, survival, bathing. She's everywhere in everything, in the plants around us, in the air. So what I'm sensing by working with her is that she is calling out for us to remember that connection, and she is really supporting those who want to change their relationship with water, in that deepening the relationship with we take it for granted. Who gets in the shower and even thinks about the water that's being provided for us? We take it for granted. So what we are here to do is to, even if people leave being in our presence, having a deeper relationship with water, and when they go into her, they're like, wow, have a connection with her, then our job is done. That's what she's asking of us. But we go much further than that, because we invite people to go into very, very deep altered states of consciousness, almost instantaneously in the water. It takes minutes. And she is also doing this. This is not new. This has been done for thousands of years. Healing in water, the sacred wells and sites around the world. But I think what we're doing is we're combining this kind of the breath work that we are teaching. So the breath in that it's being used to just come into our body, come into presence, and then going into the water and working with a second element and understanding her on a deeper level. She responds to that understanding by gifting us a greater awareness of ourselves, and that can be so transformational. The people that have been here this week have had all kinds of insights. They've had insights around their birth patterns, impressions. They've had insights around their relationship with their parents. Just the depth that she can take us to is really profound. And there is not a single person that has left here not understanding that or seeing that.
Yeah, it is truly extraordinary. Let's explain a little bit for people who are tuning in now and maybe don't have you got decades of experience and are experts in this field. What is warm water breath work, and what makes that distinct from other types of breath work? There's so many types.
Yeah.
What's the significance of warm water breath work?
Different types of water make you feel different things. So you go in cold water and you might feel fear, and you might avoid cold water. You go in an ice bath. Quite a lot of people have been playing with and getting really into the ice baths. You get into a bath that's too hot and you instantly come out again. It's too hot. So we're very sensitive to water temperature. Even a degree or two can change how we feel about it. And we work specifically with body temperature water, so that the body can just really relax and feel totally relaxed and comfortable, almost like you're at one with the water. So there's no difference between you and the water. And that really helps people go into the processes, because they're not trying to heat themselves up or cool themselves down. They're just being able to relax.
Yeah, and we're building off of, or just to answer your question, it's building in my awareness, because I'm receiving what you're giving, and loving the discussion. But we're going. So I feel like breathwork is becoming more and more something that's known, something that the world is starting to understand and practice. And the cold water, maybe people have heard of Wim Hof, right? It's a very, very popular cold water technique, breath, and then go into the cold water. Maybe people have been hearing about conscious connected breath and working with that. Not functional breathing, not pranayama, but conscious connected breath, which is like a form of therapeutic breath work, right? Kind of breathing for longer periods of times, going into transcendental states of consciousness. And what we do specifically is we kind of just get the principle of breath work and we boil it down to the essence of it, or we relax the body and we get to the essence of it. And really there's not much influence of the breath itself. Actually, because the water is an amplifier, it's sensitive, I'm sure even picking up on our conversations right now and the nature that's around, it's very much our conscious breath and our intention that amplify that work that we do with people in the body temperature kind of water. So that's the breath. It's an organic, natural breath fueled by your intention and the space that we create collectively. And once it touches the water, it's incredible. I mean, you take a 1 hour conscious connected breath journey and you bring it down to about what can happen in 10 minutes together, and it's incredible. So it happens like this because water is just communicating so fast.
Yeah, it truly is an extraordinary transformational process, and I would very warmly recommend everybody to connect with you and find out more, because you really are experts in the field. Let's hear more about, I'd love to invite you both to tell your stories and what drew you to working with water as a healing medium, and how has this work evolved over the years as you've been practicing?
I mean, I'll just lead, because I feel like mine is not so impressive in a way, but it I mean, I realize now that the element of water has been alive in my journey my whole life, or it's been in my life pretty much since I was a little kid. But around the time where I felt like it was the beginning of my awakening, and what I really mean by that was I was having a very difficult time back in Miami, where I'm from, really lost, really self-judgmental, like a tendency to criticize self, almost to the point where I would have short little lived pleasures, and then the amount of like just internal noise and internal judgment was so much that I was pretty much like, what the hell's the point of this life? And I think around that time, a lot of good friends were telling me about self-help books and good books that I can read. And I got a little glimpse of the present moment, because The Power of Now was a very significant book for me. And in a time where I started to understand that there was more to life, I would go to the ocean like almost every single day and be embraced by her. And for me, what I mean by that embrace is just, I feel different in the water. I feel like something comes back to me. Like just really plain simple, I just feel more connected. I feel more at ease. I feel like I can let go of sometimes what this life feels like a dense reality of like the pressure's on, and in the water I feel back in my innocence somehow, or like a kid, like I could just do whatever and anything, and I can explore this watery world. So that love, fast forwarding to the first opportunity that I got to hold a cold water ceremony or breath work, it just all merged. My love for the water, my long relationship of always going to the water, and then here I had the opportunity to give back to her and to create an experience around the water itself. So I did my best. I honored her. I had everybody get into a circle and say thank you, and then we breathed and we went into it. And that started a domino effect of just... Yeah.
The first Asher, yeah. The first Asher water breathe we did together.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that... Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, because I had to do a class on it first.
that's right.
We did a little class and then we had to take them down to the water.
Yeah, and that's where it really started to take form. You know, I was talking about like the first one that I did was just like, you know, like a makeshift of
It was a
bringing
mess.
things together. Yeah, but it was beautiful. But us coming together was where it started to formulate into something that we have found or reconnected with something special, and we can remind people.
Mess in a good way.
Yes, we can remind people that there's something special here. And, you know, as culture, we lack rite of passage. We lack, you know, ceremony. We don't do things together in this way. So we had a beautiful playing around with how to get people to get excited, to bring in a little bit of reverence and to trust that something could happen. And what came was phenomenal. And it started our journey with just really, I guess, honing in this specific form of work. And everybody who's coming here, those that have years of experience with breathwork or new, are just blown away by what the water work is opening up.
Yeah,
That was
the first breath camp at Asher ever.
ever.
Yeah.
Can you just say, when you say Asha, can you just explain to people what that is? Okay. Alchemy of Breath, right? Is it?
It's Alchemy of Breath's training centre in Italy, in Tuscany.
Yeah, I didn't say specifically who I've been training with, but yes, I work with Alchemy of Breath for about 8 to 9 years now. And yeah, the founders are dear friends.
Tell us your story. What drew you to the waters, and how has it evolved for you?
Well, apart from loving water, like a lot of us do, loving being in or near water, I did my breathwork training, my rebirthing training, 2016 with the Air School of Breathwork. And I didn't quite fully realise that the training was predominantly going to bring up for me everything around my birth, because I had quite a traumatic birth, very traumatic birth. And so each of their modules on the training, they work in water, warm water, and cold water in the sea or the rivers. And so my first training in breathwork included working in the water. I then went to teach for Alchemy Breath for 5 years, and then came back full circle to Air School of Breathwork. And I think, I'm not sure, I think a few years ago I started with, Pablo was there, at the Breathe Festival of Life, Breathwork festival dedicated to breathwork in the UK, to building community around breathwork, all different kinds of breathwork, and it's an annual festival. And we started doing some warm water work there at Earth Spirit, which is a retreat centre near Glastonbury. And we had 23 people signed up for the session. And then that morning I was like, oh, how's this going to work? We've got like a couple of hours. How on earth is it going to work? And I just trusted that it was going to work. And I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and something told me exactly how it was going to work. And it worked. We had everyone come in groups of 5 and take it in turns. I said you're going to have 10 minutes each. And I held a class on birth and birth impressions, so everyone knew the theme. And then when we went into the water, it's exactly what happened. Everyone had 10 minutes, and everybody had an experience. And at the end of it, I was like, wow, what is happening here? This is, I mean, deep experiences. Some people report that's still, to me now, they come up and say that was one of the most profound experiences that I've had. So the water, she just was calling. She said, you need to come and do this, and I'm going to show you why. This is how it works.
Yeah. Tell us, when you do retreat, the technicalities of this, and what can somebody then expect to experience in a warm water session, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. tell us about the practical thing, and if people want to work with you, how do they find you, etc. But what do you actually do? How does it work?
So people can find us through the website, through my website, Pablo's website, and Instagram. We're both on Instagram. Mine's the Sacred Breath.
Yep, and mine is
Sure, they'll be in the titles of this.
OndaBreath.
OndaBreath.
Yeah.
So you can find us there. We have different offerings. We do one-to-one or group work online, in the water, and retreats. And next year we're starting advanced breath work training specifically for those that want to work with water. So when people sign up for a retreat, they can expect to come to usually a pretty small group of people, like-minded people. They can expect to be very much welcomed and feel a deep sense of safety. And it's that safety that allows people to really be able to express themselves fully, for their psyche to, so their unconscious parts of themselves to feel safe enough to step out of the comfort zone, come up to breathe, come up to be seen. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Without going into the logistics too much.
True. I love that. It's a lot of intentionality, obviously years of experience and years of fine-tuning what helps bring an individual person, body to a group collective, and to feel like you've been there all along, and to feel like you've been part of this family, or there's a sense of ease, a sense of arriving, and then ultimately a sense of dedicating this time and space to you, to you, right? So we work with sharing and arriving and embodied practices that get us out of the mind or meet our mind and sink us into the body, and then prepare us for the spiritual or energetic or physical practices of conscious connected breath, both on dry land or in water. Yeah. We also do online for that matter. Yeah. What you can expect is you're going to be diving within yourself in a space that has kind of learned to tailor itself to the inner realms and the inner workings of being a human being, and that amplified by certain elements and certain practices that help, as Kerry said, help evoke and bring up certain understandings, maybe certain things that we are supposed to release, or it feels ready for us to release, ultimately so that we can feel freer to be who we are and feel freer to express. We have beautiful beings that left this week, like amazing, how different, but people feeling empowered, confident, beautiful.
You know, someone said to me before they left, this is the best 5 days of their life.
Yeah, it is very powerful. Who is it for? Who is this work for? And how was it?
You.
Yeah,
We're looking at you. How would people know if they're called to do this work? What's the signs?
Well, usually people go on the website or look on the Instagram, and something just draws them in. A feeling, a sense. It's like you need to look into this more.
Yeah, curiosity.
And then they book a discovery call.
Yeah.
And then we get talking, and then they decide if it's right for them.
Yeah, I had a discovery call and I decided on the spot. So it is quite a, Tell us, you are offering advanced breathworking, advanced training around this work. Why is it advanced? What does that mean? And who is that for? And give us some call to actions. Where do you facilitate?
So over the last 4 or 5 years of offering this work, it's become apparent that we're having more and more people come to us, yes, some with no experience, but also some with psychotherapists or craniosacral therapists.
All kinds of therapists.
Midwives, just people with that want to learn more about what we're doing. And
Deepen their practice.
there has been a calling to make this offering. It's taken 2.5 years to come to actual fruition, and finally it's been launched. It's on my website, and it's a modular based training. There's residentials, there's retreats, and there's online modules. And it's an hours-based training, so people can come and dip in and do different bits at different times. And it's not just open to people who have qualified in conscious connected breath work. It's also open to therapists who have been working one-to-one for many years, who want to learn a new skill.
Ultimately, what we want to do is not just cultivate, but expand on certain things that practitioners, facilitators, I think is the thing that we, as we are sharing this work, there's nuances and there are things that come up for us. We learn a certain practice, we start sharing it, and then we realize, wow, supporting an individual is complex. There's so much that can come up. Supporting a group is complex. There's so much that can come up. How do I deepen into understanding what's really going on within my sessions, within my group sessions? So our aim is to really get the knowledge that our participants bring and together collaborate a deeper understanding. And of course, you're coming to learn also how to enhance your practices by bringing in presence work, partnered work, a little bit of breath work, and ultimately working specifically with the element of the water. Yeah. That's what people are coming to do, is to learn how to deepen their relationship with the water, how to hold space in the water, and then how to hold space for self and for each other. And we do that in a collaboration. It's not like we're here like, oh, we have years of experience and come receive from us. We understand that everything around us, of even earth and the elements, but you have something that could contribute and deepen our understanding in our conversation. So come join to deepen.
So instead of being a top-down training, it's a circular training.
Yeah. Circular. Exactly.
As in, everybody that comes has something to offer, and a deepening can happen for everybody. And we are covering things like energetic protection, energetic hygiene, the subtle body, energy realms. It's so deep. The science of water, how to communicate with her about the water that is within our bodies, how it communicates to us when we're in the water, transference. It's deep.
Yeah. Positive transference.
Yeah, positive transference, yeah.
Yeah. What has this work taught you about yourself as facilitators and as human beings?
Ultimately, I feel more in myself than I've ever, and yeah, what do I mean by that? More than ever, like I just feel like there's been a coming home through this work, because I think we all, in some way, shape, or form, aim to feel more connected, more confident, more free to express who we are, our gifts, our uniqueness. And I think what I appreciate about this work is that it calls us to the forefront of sharing our message and sharing who we are. And you can't help but then deepen into yourself, because it's almost like you're putting yourself in that perfect place to reveal, to come home to yourself, because you can't hide. When you go to share something, you can't hide. I mean, you could hide behind performance, but if you do it right, you're pretty much calling yourself back to yourself. So this work has taught me about listening, about patience. It has revealed a big love for humanity, a big love for nature and the elements. And I don't know, I just get to be more of me, playful, silly. Yeah, you know, all of the things. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, definitely return to ourselves and return to love. Let's talk a little bit about this place, Forest, and how this has evolved, and also then just tell us what is happening here in the next year and when we'll finish.
So the advanced training is, or the online modules start in December, January and February of this year into 2027. We're here next July 7th to the 11th, offering the training, the advanced training, and also in Norfolk in March. The dates are somewhere, some point.
Put it in the link.
Yeah, put it in the link. I can't remember, but March in Norfolk.
Yeah.
And what about here in Forest?
7th to the 11th of July.
And what is this training?
The advanced warm water breathwork training.
Yeah, and so much can be said about this venue itself. Obviously, you're getting a little piece of this. This is actually a cold plunge and a sauna. If you could see what we were seeing here, it's just amazing. Surrounded by mountains. Those that created this beautiful space are just incredible humans. And the food here, farm to table, like pretty much garden to table, and the venue just out of this world. We look forward to working out of here for as long as we are able. It's just so beautiful, and each year getting better and better.
It's getting better and better for sure. So you can subscribe to the CWS podcast, and you can follow Kerry, Sacred Breath, Pablo, OndaBreath.
Yes, OndaBreath, and come join me to get on the breath.
Any last message to people listening?
Oh, I mean, if you got this far, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for listening.
So appreciative, yeah.
Thank you so much. This is just magical and mystical, and
Thank you for just how much love and care you put into what you do.
yeah, I feel like, actually this this podcast has been the inception. I was kind of pregnant with this podcast on the first retreat I came, and it's really been going for 2 years, and I feel it is very important. So I love to connect people from all kinds of fields, like dating, relating, sexuality, money, prosperity, healing, etc., and also the forming of communities. So you are really, really inspirational. So yeah, thank you for listening. To our listeners, you can write individually any questions. We love to hear your comments. If you had any experience with breathwork yourselves or water, please do let us know. And it's no understatement to say that we love water, we love the earth.
And we love you. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
High five. Thank you.